Good morning to one and all, and welcome back to chapter number 3, the Delhi Sultans. So, before starting the lesson, I would like to say you something that still many of you are not watching the videos that teachers are sharing regularly. So, this is our request again and again that please go through the videos, and if there is any doubt or queries, please do ask us without any hesitation. So, with this, let us continue chapter number 3. And in our previous slides, what we have studied about, let us see. We have studied about 5 different dynasties that ruled Delhi between 1226 to 1526. Razia Sultan, that is the daughter of Iltutmish, and she was considered as the first woman ruler of India. And we studied about Tawarik. They are the learned men, and usually they advise the rulers. Then consolidation of position through internally and externally in stage 1 as well as in stage 2. Then the expansion of Delhi. So under the expansion of Delhi, first of all we have seen internally and then externally. Then important rulers of the Delhi Sultanate are Muhammad bin Tughlaq as well as Alauddin Khalji, one from Tughlaq dynasty and another from Khalji dynasty. And garrison town. If I have not explained this, it is given in your textbook. What is meant by garrison town? That means a fortified settlement with soldiers, or a settlement or an area with the soldiers 24/7. Just like we have Jammu Kashmir, we can say it as a garrison town because you can see the military forces always you can say in action 24/7, as well as in our borders. Okay, now let's move on to today's topic. Administration and consolidation under Khaljis and Tughlaqs. As I told you, the Delhi Sultanate, maybe the 5 dynasties ruled Delhi, but out of this, Khaljis and Tughlaqs were very famous. And why they are famous? They are famous for different reasons. Maybe their rulers were strong, or the administration steps taken by these dynasties were super. Let's see the first point. To consolidate large kingdom, reliable governors and administrators were required. So, what is that first point says? To consolidate. Consolidate matlab strong banane ke liye. A large kingdom, reliable governors. What is the meaning of reliable? Reliable means trustworthy, और जिसे हम और भरोसा कर सके. So, reliable governors and administrators were also required. So, okay, reliable governors, trustworthy governors as well as administrators were required. Instead of appointing aristocrats means usually they were the rich landlords. Okay, they were not the inhabitants of India. They are from Greece. Such that aristocrats were very famous. So instead of appointing, that is, rich landlords, Delhi sultans favored their special slaves called bandagan for important offices in the kingdom. See, instead of appointing the rich landlords or the influential people or a social group with the huge influence, the Delhi sultans, they decided to appoint slaves. Who are the slaves? Once they might be worked under them. So उनका बंदगान मतलब slaves मतलब उनके नीचे जो काम किए लोग. Okay, bandagans as for the important offices in the kingdom. Important offices in the kingdom means what? For some of the important positions. इट मे बी द मिलिट्री, इट मे बी जहाँ हमें ट्रस्ट की ज़रूरत पड़ती है, भरोसा के रखते पड़ते हैं, वहाँ पर उन्होंने स्लेव्स को रखा. जो स्लेव्स मीन्स दे वर्कड अंडर the sultans. Okay, and the Khaljis and Tughlaqs followed the same policy along with appointing people of humble birth. Humble birth मतलब normally their client है. Then what is client? That is also given in your textbook. You have to read that. Who is considered as a client मतलब in a way I can say that dependent is client to be the positions of governors and generals. That means they appointed their dependent who belong to the humble birth. Humble birth मतलब you can say that their surrender या उनका काम हाथ के नीचे जो काम करने वाले, और you can say their workers, or you can say their slaves to some of the important positions. It may be the governors and general. So वो सब position के लिए उनको अपना slaves को उन्होंने क्या किया, उनको appoint किया. See, I have already told that slave dynasty, before forming that slave dynasty, Qutbuddin Aibak. So Qutbuddin Aibak, he came to India and he attacked Delhi and all, and afterwards while returning back to his area, or I can say Afghanistan or some in the northwestern part, he came and he appointed that is Iltutmish. Iltutmish. Who was this Iltutmish? He was the slave of Qutbuddin Aibak. तो कुतुबुद्दीन ऐबक अपना स्लेव को वहाँ पर रखता है और वो इंडिया का एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन मतलब जो भी उन्होंने जीता है प्लेसेस उनके हाथों में सौंप के वो चला जाता है. बट ये इल्तुतमिश भी हाउ ही continued the administration or the responsibilities given to him by Aibak, and later on in between what happens, Qutbuddin Aibak dies and यहाँ पर इंडिया में इल्तुमिश ऐसा डिक्लेयर करता है that he establishes his own dynasty, that is slave dynasty. Okay, now the same thing is that here also the Khaljis and Tughlaq monarchs appointed military commanders as governors of territories. These military commanders were called Iqtadars. Now Khaljis and Tughlaq monarch means they appointed military commanders as the governors of territory. So particular territory, 1 territory, 2 territory, 3rd territory, 4th territory, and who is looking after the each and every territory? So just like in our present government system, we have CM, and under CM there are so many ministers, and it has been divided into district, into talukas, or into the gramas or the villages, like that. So in that way the administration is filtered. But during that time what they did, each one territory was given to their military commander, and they were called as Iqtadars. Let's see. These lands were called and land was also given, that is territory that was called as Iqta, and their holders were called as Iqtadars, or they were also called as Mukti. These Iqtadars led military campaign, so maintained law and order and collected revenue, particular X area. So one military commander, he was called as Iqtadar, and his land was called as Iqta. And what was his duty? To conduct military campaign. अगर कोई बाहर से अटैक करता है तो उनको संभालना, then to maintain law and order, and also to collect land revenue. Everything was the responsibility of these Iqtadars. Accountants were appointed to check the revenue collected by the Iqtadars. The Iqtadars were regularly transferred from one Iqta to another. Now, who are the accountants? Accountants means the people, another people, or special category people. So, to look after whether the revenue collection is properly done or not by the iqtidars. Okay, whether they are doing their work properly or whether doing any cheating. So counter check by the accountants. एंड इन ऑर्डर टू अवॉइड एक ही इक़्तिदार में एकता में रहे, इससे अच्छा कि क्या है उनको बार बार उनको ट्रांसफ़र करते थे एक इक़्ता से दूसरे इक़्ता से तीसरे इक़्ता. जस्ट लाइक यू कैन सी द गवर्नमेंट एम्प्लॉयज़ हाउ दे हैव कीप ऑन ट्रांसफर्ड फ्रॉम वन प्लेस टू अनदर, मे बी ऑफ एवरी 3 years. इट मे बी द पुलिस में हो सकता है, इट मे बी बैंक में है, इट मे बी द गवर्नमेंट टीचर्स, दे ऑल्सो कीप ऑन transferred from one place to another. They are not appointed in a particular area or in a particular place. The same thing was there. अलाउद्दीन खिलजी बॉट असेसमेंट मतलब जैसे एग्जामिनेशन का तरीका. असेसमेंट, अभी आपको हमें असेसमेंट करना है, मतलब आपका क्या आप पढ़ाई कर रहे हो कि नहीं कर रहे हो. हाउ वी विल कम टू नो थ्रू टेस्ट. टेस्ट इज ए part of assessment. So, and collection of land revenue control under the state. Ultimately state was responsible for everything. There were 3 types of taxes on cultivation called kharaj. So as I told you, land revenue. So land revenue maybe there were 3 types of land taxes on cultivation, and that was called as kharaj. And other than that, on cattle के ऊपर भी द एनिमल्स, आपके अगर कितना बिलोंग एनिमल्स होते हैं उसके ऊपर भी टैक्स था. एंड ऑन हाउसेस जस्ट लाइक वी आल्सो हैव द सेम थिंग. नाउअडेज आल्सो वी आर पेइंग हाउस टैक्सेस रेगुलरली टू द गवर्नमेंट. Delhi Sultanate faced the challenge of Mongol attacks under Genghis Khan, forcing them to mobilize large standing army. Now Delhi Sultanate, after some time, after this Tughlaqs and Khaljis, what happened? The Delhi Sultanate a little bit becomes weak. Sayyids and Lodhi, they were the next important rulers of Delhi. During that time, the Mongolia, people of Mongol, or they are from Central Asia, and presently it is a part of China. And their attack बहुत लगातार अटैक करने लगे अंडर द लीडर ऑफ चेंगिस खान एंड फोर्सिंग. इसके चलते उनको क्या करना है, हमेशा एक स्टैंडिंग आर्मी मतलब मैंने कहा स्टैंडिंग आर्मी मतलब 24/7 रेडी रहने वाला आर्मी ज़रूरी था. Mongol attacks on Delhi Sultanate increased during the rule of Alauddin Khilji and in the early years of Muhammad Tughlaq's rule. So खिलजी डायनेस्टी खत्म होता है और तुगलक डायनेस्टी शुरू होता है. एंड ड्यूरिंग दैट टाइम दिस मंगोल ने बहुत ही हैरान किया, परेशान किया. ओके, this forced the 2 forces to mobilize large standing army. So what is I've written next one. It's very important homework in your textbook, page number 41. That is comparative study of Alauddin Khilji as well as Muhammad bin Tughlaq. It is being given. Okay, 2 sides. You have to go through it. You have to read that because there is a question also. One long question is there regarding this comparative study of Alauddin Khilji as well as Muhammad bin Tughlaq. As I told you, they were considered as the most important rulers of Delhi Sultanate. Yes, we have not come to the end of the slide. We are moving ahead. Now, Alauddin Khilji. हम तो अभी Alauddin Khilji हम बात करेंगे. Alauddin Khilji fixed the prices of basic utility items in order to keep his soldiers and people happy. See, Alauddin fixed the prices नमक से लेके या उन्होंने धागा से लेके नीडल से लेके बहुत हेवी लग्जरी आइटम तक जो गोल्ड हो या डायमंड हो, he fixed the prices of all commodity. नमक का 10 रुपया है, नीडल का 1 रुपया है, धागा का 2 रुपया है. So everything he fixes so that कोई भी, I am saying कोई भी, anybody who goes anywhere, कोई बार्गेन नहीं है, दे हैव टू पे द सेम प्राइस। ऐसा नहीं है यहाँ पर 3-4 व्यापारी अलग अलग बैठे हैं और एक व्यापारी 1 रुपये में दे रहे, एक 2 रुपये में दे रहे, एक 10 रुपये में लूट रहे। इट शुड नॉट बी लाइक दैट। सो हु विल बी हैप्पी बिकॉज ऑफ दैट? सो वहाँ पर कोई किसी को परेशानी नहीं होगी। देयर विल नॉट बी एनी प्रॉब्लम टू एनी ऑफ हिज पीपल। दैट वॉज हिज इंटेंशन। काश अगर यहाँ this rule, if it is applied to our India, then the life would be fantastic. There won't be the concept of poverty in India, isn't it? Let's hope in the coming days. No one could charge higher price. If anyone found doing so, he was punished severely. पता चले यहाँ 10 रुपया का उन्होंने पैकेट 20 रुपीज़ का अगर उन्होंने नमक का पैकेट का फिक्स किया है सबको, और वहाँ एक 21 या 20 रुपये को बेच रहा है, 22 रुपीज़ को बेच रहा है, then he will be severely punished. So then we are coming to the last part, the Sultanate in 15th and 16th centuries. After the Tughlaqs, the Sayyids and the Lodi dynasties ruled over Delhi and Agra. Sayyid dynasty, I think Khizr Khan करके है Sayyid dynasty का. Khizr Khan, he laid the foundation of Sayyid dynasty. And Lodi में you will come to know Ibrahim Lodi was the last one ruler. Okay, then by this time, independent rulers were also established along the new ruling groups like Afghans and Rajputs. See, by that time, as I told you, the power of Delhi Sultanate was slowly going down, and taking this advantages, some of the groups like Afghans and Rajputs, they also started their independent kingdom. Some of these states, though small, were powerful and extremely well administered. Sher Shah Suri, who managed a small territory in Bihar, later challenged and defeated the Mughal Emperor Humayun. So during this time only, Sher Shah Suri, later he establishes Suri dynasty, or you can say Sur dynasty. And he was able to manage a small territory in Bihar. So from that he gives a big challenge to the Mughals, especially defeating Humayun. Who was Humayun? Who is none other than father of Akbar. Now this Sher Shah Suri, soon after this Delhi Sultanate, we are going to the next the Mughal dynasty starts, and Mughal dynasty, Babur, he was the founder of Mughal dynasty, and after that what happens, his son Humayun, he becomes the ruler. And when Humayun was ruling Delhi, at that time this Sher Shah, he was ruling a small territory in Bihar, and he become powerful, and he mobilizes huge army and he attacks Humayun and he defeats Humayun. And Humayun तो दिल्ली सल्तनत मुगल डायनेस्टी तुरंत स्टॉप हो जाता है और तुरंत उसकी जगह में सुर डायनेस्टी स्टार्ट होता है. बट आफ्टर 6 or 7 or 9 years, I don't know exactly, I will explain when I am teaching in that particular chapter. Humayun is able to get the assistance of Afghan and other rulers, Turkey people का सब help लेके again he comes and attacks on Sher Shah. तो at that time Sher Shah को वो हराता है और he once again establishes continues मुगल डायनेस्टी. और उसके बाद होता है अकबर. तो फिर उसके बाद कोई ब्रेक नहीं है, कंटिन्यूएशन होता है. बट ये शेर शाह का एक बीच में एक हिस्ट्री में एक इम्पॉर्टेंस आता है. दैट वी आर गोइंग टू सी हिम इन आवर नेक्स्ट wherever we are teaching that particular chapter. Then elements of Sher Shah's administration become a model for later emperors for consolidating their empire. That means why we are talking now about Sher Shah, because the administration aspect or the welfare methods taken by this Sher Shah was very effective, and the other people, they started following the measures taken by Sher Shah, administration measures of Sher Shah. Wow, कितना अच्छा है, इसका ऐसा करेंगे तो शेर शाह जैसे करेंगे तो अच्छा है, like that they appreciated and they started following. So now we will see the last picture. You have seen in the previous class also the one image. So that is what the this one expansion of Delhi. So Delhi se bhi nahi, outside, second stage of expansion, that was military campaign. Okay, now especially South India wala tha wo. Now we will be going to see from garrison town to empire. मतलब छोटा सा garrison town means, as I told you, a town always ready with the military commanders 24/7. वहाँ से शुरू होके the big Delhi Sultanate was established, big empire बन गया. These two maps, as I told you, this is already given in your textbook also, very important. So okay, this is what we have come to an end of this chapter. Your homework, as I told you, you have to read that, and maybe some of the points I have missed out also, that also you have to read. Okay, and I am going to attach the question answer also, because you will get the gap of, I think tomorrow is Thursday, so before next class, that is before Monday, you will be able to complete the question answers too. So keep watching the videos, keep learning and keep studying. Thank you.